Hey guys, what's going on? It is the Mad Stacker here again with somewhere in the background is Lady Stacker.
Sup?
She's sitting on the floor. This is a review that I actually already did part of once, and now I'm actually going to finish it, and you can actually watch it. It is for 76021, the Milano Spaceship Rescue. I was very excited to get this set. Lady Stacker actually got it for me. Thank you, Lady Stacker.
Yeah.
You're so wonderful.
Yeah.
But this is really awesome. This is the biggest set in the Guardians of the Galaxy sub-theme of the Marvel Superheroes line. It is 665 pieces. One more piece and it would have been awesome. Oh well. Again, it was released this year and it's got a whole bunch of cool stuff in it, so let's just get right into it. The first part is the little bad guy ship, which I think is really weird looking. Here, you can take a look at it. I mean, it is really neat. There are definitely some interesting parts to it. I do really kind of like the pattern that the stickers make there on the windshield, and it uses a few of the new sort of 2x2 donut pieces. You can see that in the front. That's what's holding those dishes on, and it uses a similar assembly.
When are stickers not a good idea?
Stickers aren't usually a good idea, except when they're like this, and they're the clear ones. So, but that is, yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I've been doing kind of absentmindedly, is the weirdest thing about this ship. It has these kind of flaps on the front of it, and when it shows it on the box, it kind of shows it like this, and that just seems kind of weird to me for a spaceship. Like, it's supposed to fly around like this. I don't really know. Look, that's what it looks like. It's like which is why, I mean, they bend and they rotate fairly well, so I usually just have them like this, and then it looks a little bit more like a standard spaceship. The canopy opens up. It's got a neat little printed control panel tile in there. That's the other part I think is funny. The back part of the ship is just a rock piece. I don't know if it's supposed to look like it's dented. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but clearly they left it in there, so there it is. I really like the color scheme of this. Obviously, red and black is pretty cool, and it does have the spring fire missiles in it, the new ones, which you can see. Again, I like them far better than the flick missiles, and I'm not going to show them to you because then they'll fire off and they'll fall down, and I'll have to dig behind the table to find them, so I'm not going to do that. But you know how they work. You have sets. You've shot them off and hit things with them. It's funny.
Have the dog eat them.
I hope the dog doesn't. If the dog has eaten them, call your local animal hospital, because that's not good. Let's get down to the real meat of this, and that is the Milano herself. This thing is huge, and it's beautiful, and it's got 15 bajillion flaps on it. I mean, this is definitely the most posable spaceship I've ever seen. Each wing has 5 flaps on it, I believe. It's got this one right here on the front, which isn't too articulated. 2, 3, 4, and 5. These, the big ones on the sides are actually held on by old school, like, bionicle ball and socket joints. The wing assemblies were actually really cool, I thought. Like, I wasn't prepared to like them as much as I did, especially considering wing assembly. It's like, build one wing, then build the opposite and put it on the other way. But, I mean, the whole ship just looks really cool. From the color scheme all the way down, it's got this crazy assembly at the front that looks almost like a beak. I mean, it looks like a bird. Is it supposed to look like a bird? I don't know.
Maybe we just have to wait till the movie.
I think, yeah, because, I mean, I'm familiar with the comics, but not familiar enough to know if there's any backstory to the Milano, or, you know, what it's actually supposed to look like or whatever. Or if it's, in fact, named after the delicious Pepperidge Farm cookie with the little chocolate in the middle. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, they're so good. So good, aren't they?
Sure.
It's got these bendable parts on the back that have flaps on them. The engine part bends up. I'm going to show you here right now. This is how the whole top just comes off. This whole top part just comes off, and it's got another flap up there which can bend. And the inside of this ship is actually really great. I wasn't prepared to enjoy it as much as I did. Right down to the seats. I love the seats in this. I mean, the fact that they have headrests even. This one in the front here, I mean, you can see it's got a back part. It bends. The headrest bends. And, actually, I just took a look at a still from the movie, and although that isn't exactly what the cockpit looks like, because the cockpit in the movie has 3 seats, and you can see them all sitting around, that is pretty much exactly what the seats look like, so they definitely paid some attention to detail there. You can also see in the front there is the little control panel piece, which, yeah, okay, well, you can see it.
You can see it on the box.
Yeah, you could, well, okay, you can? Oh, yeah, it's definitely on the box. Yeah. It looks like it's from Star Wars because it's got some of that kind of Galactic Empire type text on it. But I mean, it looks really great. The whole cockpit looks really cool. One of my favorite parts, I'm gonna see if I can get it out. Oh, look, here's more flaps. Is in the back. There's this little Technic pin, and I wasn't sure what it was. She wants to play with Milano. I wasn't sure what it was for, and what it's for is this little boombox. If you've seen the trailers, if you know anything about the movie, you know that music plays a really big part in it. And Star-Lord kind of, holds on to the relics from Earth, and one of which is his music. So, and as soon as I started putting this together, I'm like, what the heck is this? Oh, it's a boombox. That's frigging awesome. Like I said, it sticks right in. It's got a little, there's a little, oh no. There's a little Technic pin in the back. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Let me try to block out the light, which of course won't work. But it just sticks onto the Technic pin right in the back of the spaceship, and it's easily removed. I didn't think it was going to be as easy to pull out as it was, because the first time I filmed this, it wasn't.
You actually broke it the first time around.
I just shattered the whole thing. Yeah, it was great. I had to build it again. One of my other things that I really like about this set is a lot of big ships like this, at the back, they just have a door. They just have a door that you can load things in and out of. This one actually has a giant window, which I think is cool because it just kind of makes you think, oh, maybe Star-Lord just kind of stands out there and just kind of looks out at space sometimes.
Actually, just Groot.
Just Groot, yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of which, there are 4 seats in the Milano, 3 in the front and 1 in the back, which is enough to fit every Guardians minifigure that could logically fit in here. I don't think you could fold up Groot enough to actually fit him in this ship.
Groot technically isn't a minifig.
Well, yeah, but you could definitely, I mean, if you wanted to display them all together, you could put the 4 of them in the ship, and then you could put Groot on top of it, sort of like Metalbeard, something like that. But the Milano is just, it's a really great looking ship. It's sort of infinitely posable, like I said, with all the flaps, which is more than you can say about a lot of other.
You have like the little thrusters in the back.
Oh yeah, I mean you got all kinds of stuff. And obviously all the flaps move. Like I said, the ones on the ball and socket joints kind of can go every which way. Even the bottom, I think, is interesting compared to some of the other ones. Just the way it has these weird sort of thrusters here at the bottom. Other features, I mean, it's got flick missiles on it. You can see them right there. I'm not a fan of flick missiles, but I'll live. Oh, the other thing that I thought was really neat is it has these little arms on the front, which come down. Here, you want to move over so you can get in the frame a little bit, lady? Thank you for blocking out that light. It's got these arms that come down, and these are actually stud cannons, which, again, I believe were introduced with Bad Cops Pursuit. They're Bad Cops' weapon from the Lego movie, and then we saw them a lot in Ultra Agents, but here they are again as, actual firing weapons on the Milano, and they're cool because they're posable too. Like I said, this is probably the most posable spaceship I've ever built. I even really like these assemblies under the wings here that just have these dishes with the crazy clear bowl type thing in there. So that's the Milano. I mean, like I said, I love it. I think it looks really awesome. It is a little bit weird that you can see that part at the front there doesn't exactly fit together 100% because of the way it's angled. I don't care. It still looks really cool. So you can see there's like a little gap there, and this piece, it has one of these little rail pieces sort of on the front. But that's that. So let's start with the minifigures. It comes with a whole bunch of minifigures, and they're all really cool.
There are a lot of minifigures.
There's like 5 minifigs with this set.
This
This is the Sakaran. If you've seen our review of the Nowhere Escape mission, you've already seen him. It's the exact same figure. He comes with the exact same gun, which I still think is pretty cool. It looks like something out of a Halo or Mass Effect or something.
Very spacey.
It's very spacey. This one, I've chosen to give him the scary face, unlike I did with the other one. He does have a dual printed head with the kind of more mysterious type face on the back. And he does have printing on both sides of him. Again, this camera can't really, portray how intricate these designs actually are. But needless to say, they're silvery and they're fairly intricate. So, moving right along to starting to get to the more interesting ones. This is the villain of the picture, Ronan the Accuser. Ronan is an alien from the warlike Kree race in the comics, who are blue. And, I mean, he's just really cool. He comes with the orb, which I'm not sure if it's included in every Guardian set. I know it came with the Nowhere Escape mission. I'm not sure if it comes with the other one, the Star Blaster Showdown or whatever it's called. I don't even know if I'm going to get that one. I might just because it comes with Nova, but other than that. But yeah, Ronan is really cool. The design you can see on his torso, the sort of red slashes, are a little bit reminiscent of the design on this ship. I don't know if this is exactly supposed to be like Ronan's ship. On the box, it's pictured with him sort of standing on the front of it like that.
Very nicely accessorized.
I do really like his hammer. Again, it looks exactly the way it does in the trailers and in the movie. And it's simple, but looks like it would hurt a whole bunch if someone hit you with it. Ronan does have... I even really like his headpiece, the sort of hood/helmet cowl with these giant shoulder pads.
I like the shape.
I mean, it's smooth while still looking very sort of sinister. And Ronan, I believe, also does have a double printed face. He's got that one that's sort of angry looking.
And then he has a happy face.
He doesn't. I don't think he has a happy face. Ronan's not a happy guy. Yeah, this one's just a little more stoic. It still looks pretty angry. He's still got the slanty eyebrows, but it's a little less angry than the other one. But that's Ronan. I think he looks really cool, and I'm glad that I have him. So now let's start to get right along to the Guardians, who I was the most excited to get. Here is Gamora. Gamora is an alien, of course. She's green. She's terrifying. She's, universe's deadliest assassin, all that. Her sword, at least in the comics, is called Godslayer. So that should tell you enough about that. You've seen the trailers. You know she looks terrifying. She's got the standard sort of Guardians uniform on. Her face, I know you can't really see it in the camera, but her face has these sort of like silver...
They're like her markings.
Yeah, she has these little silver elements all over it. Her hair has the purple streaks in it.
I didn't know she even had purple streaks. Can you focus? No.
I tried focusing. You can't really focus. But she also does have a double head sculpt with kind of a knowing smirk on the back. But Gamora looks really cool. Again, I'm really glad to have a Gamora figure. Since now, if you get the Nowhere Escape mission and you get the Milano, you'll have all the Guardians. And that's the only way to get all the Guardians, because Gamora and Drax only come in the Milano. Speaking of which, here he is, the big man himself, Drax the Destroyer, played in the movie by former professional wrestler Dave Bautista. This figure is insane. He's got these kind of brands/tattoos all over him, and not only are they on his chest and his head, they even go onto his arms, which you don't really see arm printing that often as far as I know, but they even extend onto the back of his head and onto his back. And again, this camera isn't great, but the designs are like so ridiculously intricate. He even has those are basically minifig skulls on the back, which I think is really funny. I barely even noticed that before. You can see on the back, yeah. They're actually, I'm assuming in the movie they're regular skulls, and here they're actually minifig skulls. Of course, they had to...
There's a lot of little detail. Had to make it fun.
They had to Lego-ize it a little bit.
Anatomically correct with the positioning of his bones.
But,
because he's really built, so...
Yeah, Batista's
it's hard to have a built minifig.
Unless it's, Hulk or something. But he comes with his knives, which are just sort of standard knives. I was hoping maybe they would make new ones, but... They're just his standard ones. And he comes with Guardian pants, so he is terrifying. One of the things is, I always thought Drax was supposed to be green. The minifigure is quite obviously gray. I'm not sure if he's green or gray in the movie. But either way, I don't really care because he looks cool. Drax the Destroyer. Last, but certainly not least, is our hero, Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord. He looks perfect down to, the sort of rakishly opening his jacket to his little jet boots, which you've seen in the trailers again. And he also has a new type of blaster, his Star-Lord blasters, which are kind of his signature weapon. They look really cool, too. They look like something right out of Halo, you know, like the plasma pistol or something. Not only does Peter Quill have two faces, he has his sort of, you know, battle-ready grimace and his smirk, his knowing smirk, but he also comes right with his iconic helmet, which I think is cool because it even just has a little hair part on top, because in the movie it doesn't. Bald. I mean, well, he's not going to be bald because his hair shows through it in the movie. I didn't know how they were going to do that with the figure, and I think it's cool that they just put the hair onto the helmet. I think I think he looks really great. So, and last but not least, I know I almost forgot to do this last time. It also came with this little gizmo sort of a thing, which is actually, I've seen it in at least one trailer where Star-Lord holds it. It's like a gun. It's like a big blastery looking weird. On the box it shows it almost like a space scooter. This is how it's held. I put it in Gamora's hands because she has fewer things to take off.
In the movie?
But yeah, I mean, well, in the movie, Star-Lord uses it, but on the box it just kind of shows him flying around shooting it. I think it's on the front. Yeah, it's definitely. It's
yeah,
right
the
there
back
on the front.
here it's just kind of like hanging out.
Yeah, but
totally...
he sort of flies around with it with a little space blaster. So that's really it for the Milano. A bunch of figures, a great.
So that's what, 4 figures?
It's 5 figures.
5 figures.
5 figures and 2 ships and 1 weird little blasty doodly. So I will show you before closing off here, which I still have something else to do, which you'll see in a minute. But first, I'm going to show you one of the things that I was really waiting for, which is all of the Guardians all together. Here is all 5 of them, looking awesome, being generally spacey. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, of course, from the Nowhere Escape mission, and the other 3 right here from the Milano. They look great together. I think they work great together. I'm excited to do little scenes with them. Like I said, I've been thinking about doing a Marvel version of Stackville, which, again, you are literally right in the middle of. You can see. It's still in its spooky form from the last video I did. So I think the next one is going to be Marvel themed. I'm going to see how many of the ships I can sort of between the Milano, the Blackbird, the Quinjet, just every other thing. I'm going to see how many I can fit around the city.
As long as we have Loki on a bicycle, because that's all Loki gets.
We can definitely do that because I have bicycles and Loki can fit on one of them. This time I'm going to do a little bit of a different sort of You Can Stack It. I know I haven't done a You Can Stack It in a while. Recently, I needed to get a new case for my iPhone 5. And I've been looking at a bunch of different ones, and I wasn't sure exactly which one I was going to get until I happened upon the Brick Fans website, which, if you haven't been there at, I believe it's thebrickfan.com, you can also find him on Facebook and various other places. It's pretty much the only site I read for Lego news, because he knows pretty much everything, and he puts it online, and he shows you pretty pictures and stuff. And right through his website, I found Tinkerbrick, which is a really cool iPhone case. I believe they also make them for Android. Look, you can see me. It's infinite. And you can build right on them. It actually has studs on the front and the back. So on this, you can stack it. I'm going to try to avoid the mirror effect. I made a stand for my iPhone using the parts from the Tinkerbrick. There's just a couple little. These are old school hinge pieces, which are actually, I believe these are actually probably from the other version of the Roboraptor that I had. There's a boat stud holding another piece on there. I just kind of wanted to make it more solid rather than just having it be a straight line. Now, if I had more boat studs, more of these 2x2 round tiles, I would have put them on here. As it was, I only had these 2x2 sort of upside down tiles that I used to hold thing together. But it does really, when you flip out both of the pieces here, it does actually stand up really well. I was surprised. I figured it might start to slide, but it hasn't yet. And they fold up pretty well to make it almost flat on the back.
Slip in your pocket.
I like just the option of being able to do that. And of course, on the Tinkerbrick website, you can find all kinds of other ideas. You can build a little race car out of it. You can make a controller for playing your video games. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a Tinkerbrick case, I know you can get them through tinkerbrick.com. You can get them on Amazon, a whole bunch of other places.
Do they come in any other colors?
Oh, they come in black, red, yellow, blue, all kinds of standard Lego colors. You can get your hands on them. Not an official Lego product, but compatible with Lego and any other fly-by-night blocks you wish to put on there. So if you get a Tinkerbrick case, you can stack it too, and you can show me what you can stack. I'd love to see other ideas that people come up with. I've been thinking about trying to build my own little sort of video game handles on here, even though I don't play a lot of video game stuff on my phone. I usually do it on my iPad, which I'm currently filming on, so I can't show it to you. Speaking of which, I would love to see if they ever made a Tinkerbrick case for iPad, because it would be a lot bigger and thus a lot more readily able to build stuff on. So Tinkerbrick, get on that, because I'd probably buy that too. That is it for, what is it, 76021? It's that, whatever number it is.
76021.
Yes, thank you, lady. The Milano Spaceship Rescue. I'm really excited about it. This has been a really long video because this is a big set. And you can stack it, and those are always pretty long. Also, check out my cool shirt. You might have seen this before. That was this one. Oh no, I bought this one.
No, yeah.
She bought the other one. She bought the Guardians of the Galaxy one. That's it for the Milano Spaceship Rescue. I really enjoyed it. If you get it, let me know how you liked it, because it's a friggin' awesome set. Again, it's really... I'm gonna take a drink of my water because it's really warm. And I hope you guys stay cool out there.